Now, for our feature presentation.
Oh, my eye!
What'd you do?
I was trying to get a hair and I fucking poked myself in the eye instead.
Oof.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie. This time around, we are doing the second part of our Bonnie and Clyde double feature with Bonnie and Clyde, the movie.
From 1967.
Exactly. Thank you, Tyson. I missed that part. I'm fired. No shout out because no one guessed the movie today, but we do have another shout out. So no shout out is an incorrect statement. You liar!
No shout out for the guessing of the movie.
Yeah.
But a shout out for the suggestion of the movie.
Yes, the shout out for the suggestion of the movie goes to my friend Chase. Chase, I finally watched Bonnie and Clyde, and I'm going to bring it to work on Tuesday. Which has no context in the time of this, because this won't be out till after Tuesday. But by the time this movie comes out, or this episode, by the time this episode comes out, you will have your movie back.
Tyson, we're movie stars. Hell yeah.
Yes! So, Tyson, who was in this movie?
Well, it was directed by Arthur Penn, who did such movies as Little Big Man and The Miracle Worker.
That's that movie about
Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
Stars Warren Beatty, Faye Dunaway, Michael P. Pollard, Gene Hackman, and Estelle Parsons.
Gene Hackman's the only one I recognize.
And Gene Wilder.
But
he didn't
Wilder
star. He was in 6 seconds.
Bit scene.
Yeah.
What did you say the first movie Gene Wilder was in?
Yes, I read that this was the film debut, the film debut of Gene Wilder.
Oh, but just didn't steal a fun fact.
Nope, I did not write that down. Nope, what? Maybe. Nope. Maybe. Nope.
Sweet.
He had some weird deliveries of lines in this movie.
Mm.
But...
Yeah, he seemed a little
kind of looked like
nervous.
He was nervous. He couldn't keep a straight face during one scene. So
I will tear them apart.
Tear them apart.
When we catch up to them, I will tear them apart.
Very slightly better than what was his name, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau.
You're tearing me apart.
Have you seen The Room?
Not yet.
We need to do that for this.
Yeah. We're eventually going to get the DVD copy. Unless it's on Blu-ray, then we get the Blu-ray.
So, top of the movie, or top of the episode. I skipped it, but spoiler alert for this 52-year-old movie.
Mm-hmm.
About an 83-year-old event. I'm sorry in advance if you haven't heard about Bonnie and Clyde yet. They died.
If you need a spoiler alert for this, then that's your fault. Not ours. We're giving you the spoiler alert anyways, just so...
you can choose whether or not to remain ignorant.
Yeah. Then it's completely on your fault, and then you're just a jackass.
Spoiler alert! This movie's about Bonnie and Clyde. It's kind of an abridged version of the 2-year crime spree of Bonnie and Clyde from the day they meet to the day they die. Yeah. Both events being portrayed inaccurately.
Yeah.
And then just about every other event in between being portrayed inaccurately.
Yeah, it's like 2 years of shit condensed into 111 inaccurate minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
The movie was described as a historical... what did they say? Something historical...
Fantasy?
No, what did they say? I can't remember. Basically, they said it was 5% accurate. That might be true. I can't remember where I read that. I was doing a lot of fact checking on the movie, and one of the things I was reading about was about how the movie was basically about 5% accurate.
Okay.
So not super accurate.
But there was a woman named Bonnie and a man named Clyde.
Hard to say.
Yeah, that's up in the air.
Yeah. Yes, there was a man named Bonnie and a woman named Clyde.
Very progressive. Very progressive.
Is that like a man named Sue? It's a man named Bonnie?
No. Man named Bonnie and a woman named Clyde.
Clyde. I mean, we don't know how they identified, so.
there's not a whole lot to tell plot-wise. I feel like we covered it.
Mm.
I think we can just move into some banter.
So, in the previous movie,
Yes.
uh,
The Highwaymen. Make sure to check it out. Link somewhere.
Right.
Probably not, really. I mean, you can find it. We
Nowhere.
have 43 videos. You'll be able to find it.
so
Dick.
the gentleman that was in love with Bonnie in the previous movie was describing about how Bonnie was going along with all of Clyde's shenanigans because by the time she realized his car was stolen, she was already in love. But in this movie, it's like from the get-go, she's like, "Oh, we're stealing cars. I bet you don't have the gall to use that gun." Like egging him on to do all this shit and like
Yeah, this
instigating.
Basically daring him to do shit.
So the movie, Warren Beatty wrote the movie, and then when he signed on to be in it, as opposed to just produce it, they brought in a director who kind of rewrote the movie, and he had this like fascination. What was his name? Andrew Fuckface? Penn?
Arthur Penn.
Sure. Had this fascination with the character of Bonnie. He wrote other characters to be worse, to make Bonnie look better, and I think he wanted to make Bonnie this grand ideal version of Bonnie, and that's why she's like the veiled ringleader of the whole kit and caboodle. Like everything revolves around her.
Weird.
Is because of him, because of Arthur Penn's retelling of the story.
So, her being an instigator of all of the like murders and stuff is an idealized version of Bonnie.
Yeah.
To him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of give him credit because I think in one sense he wanted it to make it like in the 1960s, make it look like it was like a woman who was like revolutionizing crime and like was kind of like the face of this whole thing.
Could be like a boss ass bitch in like a crime
Yeah.
type of scenario.
But also, yeah, I think he just wanted to prop up Bonnie because Bonnie, by all accounts from gang members, was never fired a gun.
Really?
Never. Like, actually never. She would reload guns and she would hand people guns, but she never fired a gun. They wrote the character of Blanche into this hysterical, old, bitter mess of a woman. Not true. Blanche was, I think I read that she was 2 years older than Bonnie, so not 10 or 15 as she was shown in the movie, depicted in the movie. But a lot of people thought she was the better looking of the two. Like, she
Blanche?
she was more active when she was still with the gang. She was more active in, like, the hands-on stuff than Bonnie was. Yeah.
I don't know. I saw Blanche's mugshot.
Yeah, I don't think either of them were attractive. I saw that.
They were probably attractive for 1930s.
I saw the picture of Bonnie holding the gun with the cigar, and she looked as well.
Like a solid 2.
Probably like a nowadays 5.
Like a nowadays 4.5, 5.
So average. A nowadays average.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
But
not.
back then she was probably a 10.
But a nowadays average wouldn't have the ability to just beauty her way across a 2-year crime spree like Bonnie did. But yeah, it does seem like Andrew Penn.
Arthur Penn.
Are you sure it's not Andrew Peak?
I'm sure it's Arthur Penn.
Arthur Penn has a real hard-on for Bonnie. At least that's the way it looks to me.
That's why he didn't want anybody else in the movie doiking her.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Guess while we're on that note, so we can talk about 2 more things there. No one in the gang ever confirmed that Bonnie and Clyde were actually lovers. Just that Bonnie was there. She was a part of the gang, but no one ever confirmed that her and Clyde were actually lovers. And the scene where he was like reluctant to get it on with Bonnie,
The first time?
or the second time.
Okay.
About the 3rd time.
No, didn't they actually fuck the 3rd time?
No, they fucked the 4th time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies.
There was 3 awkward scenes before they actually
Did the do?
did the do.
So that does seem like a nod. WD did an interview with Playboy. WD is one of the gang members that CW was based on.
Okay.
WD did an interview with Playboy where he said that no one ever talked to him about Clyde being gay, or he called him a punk. That was like the prison term for gay dudes, was a punk. No one ever asked him. No one he knew had stories of Clyde being a punk.
Well, it is on record that he killed an inmate with a lead pipe while he was in jail for sexually assaulting him.
Yes. But that's not Clyde being gay. That's
Yeah.
Clyde getting raped.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm like refuting
Yeah.
any like
Yes.
trying to refute any gay claims.
Yes.
On behalf of Clyde.
So basically Basically what WD said is I think people took some of the things about Clyde and like sensationalized it. It was his quote, because Clyde was 5'6". He weighed like 130 pounds. He had a really small guy. Was kind of a dapper, wanted to look fancy all the time, kind of gentlemanly guy. So he didn't have like that normal rough and tumble attitude, especially for Texas. Couldn't grow facial hair. There was lots of times where people, where he would wear wigs and kind of try to pass himself off as like a woman. But again, that was he was a criminal.
Public, yeah.
He was a criminal, not someone who wanted to wear women's clothes.
Yeah.
Like there's a distinction.
If there was any intimacy issues, being raped in jail can kind of turn you off about a lot of sexual trust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It can be pretty haunting and just not want to be sexual anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know whether he had intimacy issues with Bonnie. Most people can't even say for sure that they were actually a couple. So, but that's what I found while researching the film. So it does seem like they do like subtle nods to true things or to like speculation about the story, but it's mostly like sensationalized for the film. Tyson, what can you tell us about the numberinos of this here film?
Well, again, no concrete records on
What it made.
what the budget was or what it made, how it did, just because it's such an old movie. But the estimate is that the movie cost $2.5 million to make.
It's a lot of $1967.
Mm-hmm.
It's that brilliant green screen.
That was some good green screening.
Just pinnacle, honestly.
Tyson. Faked you out! Ah! What was your favorite scene in this movie?
My favorite scene is probably where you almost got to see Faye Dunaway's titties.
So the very beginning.
The very beginning. And that's just because I like titties. And Faye Dunaway used to be hot.
She's alright.
I thought she was very attractive.
Yeah.
The most attractive Bonnie we've seen today.
That's true.
Well, yeah, but the Bonnie in Highwaymen looked a lot more like the Bonnie in 1930. Similar haircut, similar dress.
Very big doe eyes.
They just picked Faye Dunaway because she was hot. She was also a good actress. Like I'm not trying to dog her. She was fantastic, but she looked nothing like Bonnie. What was your favorite scene in this movie?
When they are recruiting CW, and she's just like, "You seem to know a lot about cars. Do you know what kind of car this is?" It's like, it's a 4-cylinder coupe or whatever. She's like, "No, it's a stolen 4-cylinder coupe," and he's just like, "Oh."
Oh my god.
Fuck. And they're just like, "Yeah, interested?" And he like walks in, grabs a bunch of money, and walks out, and they leave.
It's pretty
Big.
cavalier of him.
Very BDE.
That was some BDE.
Mm-hmm.
Also, getting that dumbass tattoo was BDE.
Very BDE.
That man was a simpleton.
But Bonnie had a lot of BDE in that scene too, just laying it all out there like, "Yeah, we stole this car."
Well, that was like a general vibe of the Barrow gang. Was like, we're the Barrow gang. I'm Buck Barrow, and I'm Clyde Barrow, and I'm Bonnie Parker. And like, yeah, like when they were shooting up that sign outside the foreclosed house. We robbed banks. Like, yeah, that was like their whole MO was BDE, just exuding big phallic energy all over the place. Did we do my favorite scene yet?
No.
It was Gene Wilder. It was absolutely Gene Wilder. He was terrible in the best ways.
Is that your car?
That's my car.
That's my car.
I'm gonna tear them apart. Hey. Oh, fucking Gene Hackman telling his fucking joke about the alcoholic milk to everyone he meets. Could have gone without hearing that joke twice in the movie.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't sell that cow.
Don't sell that cow. Don't sell that cow. Remember when you said that, Buck?
Okay, so my favorite non-sexual scene is the grandma.
Oh my God, that poor old woman.
That was
Bonnie's mom.
Yes.
I feel so bad for the old lady, but it was so funny.
Yeah, that poor old woman did not seem like she knew what was going on.
I'm a bastard for laughing at it, but it was funny.
She's in the same mindset as the dying brother about his shoes and the dogs.
Yeah.
Same
I think
mindset.
the dog's got my shoes.
Where am I?
His brain's just like bleeding out everywhere.
I think we should mention that this is one of the first movies to portray blood in the amount that it was portrayed, and it was realistic.
Yep, I have that written down. It was the first film that truly portrayed like the consequences of using a firearm.
Well, I took a fun fact. I apologize.
It's not one of those westerns where they're just shooting up everybody and they just no blood, just fall over.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have they spit out some ketchup.
Yeah, this film got raked over the coals for doing that too. It was on the cover of Time magazine for an article they wrote about like the new violent cinema, and they were just dragging violent cinema.
Well, fuck them.
Holy shit, if they knew how it turned out in the future.
They were mad because they portrayed violence accurately to not glorify it.
Yeah.
They want violence to be glorified to make it seem harmless.
Yep.
Well, what the fuck, 30s media?
60s media.
60s media?
In the 30s, they showed fucking images of World War II and shit on public broadcast.
Tyson, what would you score this movie and would you recommend it?
I'd probably also give this one a 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this movie. Mostly because of like the filmmaking aspect back in the day. It being one of the first realistically violent films. Faye Dunaway's almost titties.
Faye Dunaway's almost titties.
I liked like a lot of the action and stuff that was in it. Even the stuff without the blood was pretty good. It was an inaccurate portrayal of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean,
But it was still like a great movie from a filmmaking standpoint.
Carly.
And I would recommend it too.
Oh, I don't care.
Carly, how badly are you going to disagree with me?
I am going the opposite direction. I was thinking 6, probably even 5.5, honestly. Just because, like, the overuse of banjos.
That was hilarious.
But, like, I couldn't take any of the movie seriously. It'd be in a serious chase scene and just banjo. Dax make banjo noises.
Nope.
Just, like, during the entire chase scene. It's, like, a comedic spin, and it was just... I couldn't take it. But also, it was just... I don't know, wasn't as attention-getting, I guess.
Yeah.
But
It didn't grab you by the face and say, "Watch me!"
You gotta watch it like you're in 1967. And
I don't know what that's
it
like.
wasn't quite.
so I'd have to watch it like it's the most entertaining thing I've seen yet.
Not particularly, like not the most entertaining thing you've seen yet, just like you're in your 1967 audience. And then watch it with the 2019 eyes.
And then be like, oh yeah, this actually isn't very good compared to nowadays movies.
Yeah.
I'm sure for back in the day it was probably top tierish.
It's like the Beatles. They were great back in the day, Now they're awful.
Disagree. I think a lot of the Beatles music held up.
Yeah. But I still appreciate, like, I hate the Beatles because they're bad compared to music nowadays.
I disagree. I think a lot of their music
Is
held
there
up.
a but
Yeah.
after that?
Yeah, they were great innovators and they were very consistent musicians. They were very talented at songwriting, even though I don't like their music. They innovated a lot, which led to a lot of the music I listen to today, and I appreciate the Beatles for that.
All right. Yeah.
Wait, are you telling me without the Beatles there'd be no Behemoth?
Probably. Because they were innovators.
They really were. They really were.
I think without, like, the Beatles or, like, even, like, old-timey blues, there probably wouldn't be, like, Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath, which means there wouldn't be, like, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, which means there wouldn't be, like, Bathory and Venom, and then after that, like, Dark Throne, Mayhem, then Behemoth, Dimmu Borgir, shit like that. So.
Yep.
It's very fun seeing the progression of stuff, which is
Yeah.
kind of how I viewed this movie. It's
Okay.
like,
What
back in the day,
pioneered stuff.
it was great back in the day. So it was a pioneering movie. Nowadays, comparatively speaking, it's a trash pile.
It's a trash.
But I appreciate it for what it does.
That's fair.
For filmmaking.
Okay, I can see your view on it. For this audience, though, I'm just gonna be like,
You're like, I'm lowering my score to 5 now.
no, I'll still probably give it like 6, 5.5, but
6, 5.5.
just if you watch it, be aware of what Tyson said. It's old. It's a pioneer for
Just like Carly.
the 60s. I probably wouldn't recommend it if you're looking for like a good Bonnie and Clyde film. Just watch The Highwaymen or.
Honestly, I don't mean to cut you off. If you're looking for a good Bonnie and Clyde film, don't. Like if you're looking for a good Bonnie and Clyde film, don't. Just read.
Just read about them. Get the information.
Yeah, what you read in articles and shit will be far more accurate than
If you're looking for an entertaining film
Find a documentary.
that orbits around the universe of Bonnie and Clyde, that's a different. But if you're looking for a good Bonnie, just don't.
Find a documentary.
Yeah.
If you like old, like, 60s and 70s, like, crime movies, then this is a great movie to watch. If you're looking for a Bonnie and Clyde movie, no.
Just don't.
Yeah. I would give this movie a 6.5. I would recommend it. I do think that they made a lot of decisions that, for not seeing a lot of movies from the 60s, I would say are bad decisions. But I also think that they made, like Tyson said, I think that they did a lot to innovate the art of making movies. And I would absolutely recommend this. It's lighthearted, it's fun. It does lose points for me because it's horribly inaccurate. And when I watch a movie about real events, that's kind of a big deal to me. Because if you were just going to make everything up, you didn't have to call it Bonnie and Clyde. You could have called it Connie and Blyde or Jeeve and Steve or Floop and Florp. Like, it doesn't matter what you called it because you made everything up.
Yeah.
Only 4 people in this movie were portrayed with any modicum of accuracy, and only 5 people in this movie's names were correct. Like, what's the fucking point? So yeah, it loses points. That frustration aside, I would absolutely still recommend this movie. Just because, like you said, of what it did for making films, like the art of making a film.
Awkward.
I wanted to talk about the Gene Wilder scene while we were still on favorite scenes and forgot. So, Gene Wilder is based off of a real Undertaker that really was kidnapped by the gang after they stole his car and he was trying to get it back. All of that actually happened to a man named something. It's Dewey Dulbert or some shit like that. It doesn't matter because they changed it to Eugene Gizzard or whatever. So it doesn't matter. Eugene, not his real name, tells the gang that he's an Undertaker. And in the movie, Bonnie freaks out and kicks him out of the car and is like, I can't be around Undertaker, I'm scared to death. In real life, she found it hilarious. Absolutely tickled pink that the man that they had kidnapped was an Undertaker. She gave him $5 let him go and said, "You have to promise me when we die, you will take care of our funeral arrangements."
Did he?
And he did. He did. Obviously, because of the nature of their death, a state official had to do the coroner's report and the actual like preserving of the bodies and all that. But he was there. He was also there every step of the way, helping with it. Like he was on Johnny on the spot the whole time. He actually did come back and take care of their bodies and do the funeral stuff for them.
Kudos, Eugene, not your real name.
Yep.
Eugene Weldon.
So I thought that was pretty neat, pretty interesting. But again, doesn't even matter because it's not his real name. And it's not really how this story went down. Doesn't matter.
Did he have a girlfriend there that was actually 33?
God, that was so good.
That was hilarious.
That was so good.
Got her.
How old are you? 33.
Cuts to Eugene. To Eugene. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, Eugene. Gene Wilder's character is like...
Yo, what the fuck?
Most people in that car were in their 30s. What is your fucking problem?
You found her attractive before.
Yeah.
She's still attractive.
Well, 60's attractive.
Yes. I thought she was probably the most attractive person in that car.
Well, you all know who I thought was the most attractive person in the car.
The one whose
Warren
boobies
Beatty.
you want to see.
Yeah. Faye Dunaway.
That's what I said.
Faye
It was
Dunaway
definitely
with
Gene Hackman who was the most attractive person in that car.
So, you know how we watched Young Frankenstein and I didn't recognize Gene Hackman for a good 5 minutes before, like, the first 5 minutes he was on screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did it again. It didn't look anything like him to me.
Yeah.
And then I IMDb'd because I was like, Gene Hackman is in this movie. Where is he? And then it said he played Buck, and I was just like... And I look up, and it looks exactly like Gene Hackman. So then I scrolled, like, did 2 people play Buck? No? Do I even know what this guy looks like? I almost said it out loud, but I didn't want you guys to laugh at me again.
Didn't Gene Hackman play Lex Luthor in one of those Supermans?
I feel like he did, but I don't remember.
Dex
do
doesn't
feel
know
like
what he
he
looks like, remember?
That's right. I shouldn't ask what movies Gene Hackman's been in because he'll probably say like Twilight or something.
Unless it's The Replacements, I don't know anything he's been in, apparently. He played Jimmy McGinty in The Replacements.
I didn't know that
He was the coach.
because I've never seen The Replacement.
Me neither.
It's funny. I don't know that either of you guys would like it that much as a football movie, but it's funny, so I think you'd still probably like it a little bit.
I like Whole 9 Yards.
Yeah.
And what was it? The other football one. That's funny.
Longest Yard?
Longest Yard, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I liked Waterboy.
Yeah, that's why I said I still think you'd like
Technically
this
a
one because
football movie.
it's still pretty funny, and Keanu Reeves is good.
What I remember about The Replacements, the movie, is growing up there was a cartoon called The Replacements.
Yes.
So when they had the TV guide in the newspaper, that was a thing back in the day. I would pull out the TV
Old
guide
ass.
and try and look for The Replacements, the animated TV show, and always find the movie and be like, fuck, I don't want to watch that.
How often was The Replacements on cable here?
I don't know, it was like on for like an hour on the weekends.
I'm talking about the movie.
Oh. All the time.
What?
FX had it constantly
What?
for some reason.
That's wild. That is wild. I didn't start watching FX till I moved here, though. It's like 7 years ago.
It was back when there was like 2 commercial breaks during an hour and a half long movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now you have a fucking commercial break every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're 3-minute commercials.
And it's at least a couple of commercials.
Takes all day to watch a movie that literally shouldn't take you more than a fucking lunch break to watch.
Yes.
Fun facts. We got some facts and they're fun.
Fun facts!
They're facts, and they're fun.
Yeah! So, kind of because of the way we did this episode, I put a lot of the fun facts just throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just in like,
Podcast?
what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
We made the 1967 movie Bonnie and Clyde.
I put a lot of the fun facts throughout the podcast.
This episode.
But I have a couple left, so I'll give them to you here.
Is this a fun fact? Is it charades? Okay.
One fun fact down.
The fun fact, okay, sounds like...
Santa give!
So, originally, the first script, Warren Beatty took to the real Blanche Barrow to get her approval before they made the movie. She was like the living relative. He wanted to get her approval. Hung out with her, sat with her all day, played the piano, sang her songs, and she absolutely loves Warren Beatty, I guess. But Arthur, not Andrew, Arthur Penn, like I had already mentioned, came in and rewrote the script, and it was so bad that not only did Blanche end up suing because it's not the script that she agreed to, and like not the reason she gave her name for the rights to the movie. She said in an interview she was so embarrassed at the theater she thought she was going to die of embarrassment. And you have to take into consideration she probably could have. She was old as fuck.
Like in her 70s or something, wasn't she?
So she was born in 1911. This movie came out in 67.
She was
56?
Yeah.
Which isn't super old, but it's also kind of old because it was
That's pretty
1960.
old. That's about the time where you start calling somebody old.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe not now. Like, depending on how fit they are as like a 50-year-old.
And embarrassment is detrimental to old ladies back in the day. Embarrassment?
But she was born in 1911. So 56 years. She was old. She was old. Like, how are you still alive old?
Did she win the lawsuit?
No. Only one person ended up... Because this movie got sued a lot. Only one person made any money off of their lawsuit, and it was the Hamer estate. Because they sued for the way he was portrayed as well.
With the whole them taking pictures with him and just...
Probably.
Because he wasn't portrayed as like an idiot in any sense, really. He was just not a very good cop.
Yeah, kind of portrayed as slightly cruel, maybe.
I'm not sure. But, yeah, he's the only one. His estate is the only one that got any money. But, yeah, this movie got sued a lot. Which is funny, because they didn't use anyone's real names or tell any true events.
That's sad, because, well, if they told true events, they probably wouldn't get sued as much.
That's true.
That's true, but that's also why they didn't lose any of those lawsuits, because they didn't use anyone's names. So basically you're suing because they're saying someone that isn't you did something that you're saying didn't have, that you're saying you didn't do. Like, cool, you didn't do it, we're not talking about you. We're talking about this person.
It's sad that
Yeah.
she didn't win anything, because
Well, you would think that Warren Beatty took the time out of his life to go and meet with her and get her approval. You would think he would have done right by her and
stuck up for
her. He's the producer.
He has rank over the director.
Yeah, he'd just be like, no, I'm not gonna do this. But
get another director.
Yep, find a new director.
Yeah, I can't even remember this guy's name. Must not be that important. Fucking Andrew.
Arthur Penn.
Yeah.
It was like Aaron or something.
Yeah. Octavio.
Uther Pendragon.
Exactly. Talked about that. The gang, we talked about this in the Highwaymen episode, but the gang never met Hamer. They never kidnapped Hamer. Hamer never fought Clyde, never spit in Bonnie's face. None of that ever happened. The gang did kidnap and kill many other law enforcement officers, but not Hamer. They never met Hamer. And we talked about that one. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've got.
Shit, son. Nah!
I think that is it for us here. You look like Yasha.
Word up, I look like a chick. With a beard.
With a beard.
Same.
Am I your beard?
No, this is
Oh.
my actual facial hair.
Oh, okay. I think that about wraps us up here. Remember to follow us on all the social media.
Herbert.
Chris, got some popsicles down the cellar for you. If you follow us on the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitter at old Jecll Studios, then we might just give you a shout out on the podcast.
Can you do that in real voice so I can just cut all of that and so I don't have to listen to it?
Nope. Yeah, follow us on social media, like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what movies you want us to watch. I think we're going to do Envy and The Dirt as our next couple of movies.
Another Netflix and another...
Borrowed movie.
Yeah.
So we'll be on the lookout for those. And I think that's all I've got. Is anything else?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nope.
Thanks for watching, and as always, we are the Barrel Gang.
Carly, cut this part. Future Carly.
Cut this part till it stops making noise.
Even further, Future Carly. Don't let them press the buttons. Don't let the lizard people are rising. Future Carly.
You're a lizard person, Tyson. Don't you remember?
I'm a double agent.
Oh,
Okay, cool. So you're going to warn us
Yes.
when they start to rise?
I'm warning you right now, Future Carly.
Is that why I have a button?
Yes. Don't let them press it.